Now, we are expecting some guests to come in. They haven't quite arrived, but very soon we will have in-studio guests, Dave Ajami and Edip Yuksel. And Edip is a Muslim of Turkish descent, and we are hoping that he'll be in. But we do have Dave Ajami, who will be in the studio here with us to continue this discussion. Now, for the last half an hour or so, we've been talking with Christian Prince, a Christian apologist extraordinaire, an author, a speaker, and a all-around scholar of Christianity and Islam. Christian Prince, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm worried that our Muslim guest will not show up because
you scared him. He was looking at the live stream, and maybe you said something that was very offensive. I don't know.
No. I don't think what I said. I think he did search about me because this is what Muslims do. If you remember ABN before, they offer Shabir Ali a debate with me, and then he accept, and then he send an email to ABN saying to them he is busy right now doing PhD, and since then he is doing PhD and he never finished. You know, this is the case of all Muslims. So I hope that I'm wrong, and he will show up. I hope he's listening, because it's not nice to promise us to be here, and I understand you are Muslim Quran only, and supposedly that will make it more difficult on me. Don't worry, you will be supported by Allah and His Prophet. You will win. And we are not debating anyway. We are going to have a nice conversation, and we will see what the month of Ramadan is about. So I encourage the Muslims not to fear, like, you know, if you have God in your side, who could be against you?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So don't fear anyone. If Allah is a true God, for sure you will win. Now, for me, in my case, I have no fear because I believe strongly in my Lord, and I believe strongly if Lord is with me, who could be against me?
Amen.
So be with us and show us, and at the same time, I encourage the Muslims to be real, you know. I mean, stop being hypocrite, trying to sell out Islam to the West. I want to see a real Muslim who want to say things as it is. But it's hard to find some Muslim who will say things as it is to you.
Yes. Well, well, as it was reported in the Hadith, Muhammad himself said that war is deception. And from the jihadi, from the mujahideen standpoint, they are at war with Christians and non-Muslims and the kuffar. So there's a different motivation and a different tactic. Now, I said earlier that we were going to have Dave Ajami live in the studio. I guess that has been changed. We do have Dave Ajami, but he is with us live via Skype. Now, do we have a connection with Mr. Ajami?
I'm here. I got you loud and clear, and it's Ajama, but I got you.
Sorry.
No problem.
Charge it to my head, not my heart.
There you go.
There you go. Now, we have been discussing Ramadan. We've been discussing what's been going on for the previous month. I read off headlines from the previous week of all types of incidents that have taken place. People who are claiming that they are mujahideen, that they are fighting in the name of Islam, and they have attacked people. Recently, we just saw a very grave tragedy that took place in Turkey, and our prayers are with the victims and those who are injured and those who are having to deal with that. We don't wish death or destruction upon anyone. Our prayers are for them, but a recent ISIS-related attack, according to government officials, they're saying that this most likely took place or was orchestrated by ISIS in Istanbul. Can you give us your standpoint, your reaction to this recent attack and the whole idea of Islamic jihad in principle?
Who are you asking that to?
I'm asking it to you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, I'm surprised that Turkey is basically buying oil from ISIS in the background and supporting ISIS for jihad by doing that. But I think they just got a wake-up call that ISIS is attacks anybody they want to attack. But I think it's important for people out there that are listening in the United States to know what Ramadan really is. And that's really supposed to be the Holy of Holies, if you will, where they get together and they basically fast from sunrise to sunset. But just before sunset, they usually get up early in the morning, eat a big breakfast, and then they abstain from drinking, eating, smoking, and sex between dawn and sunset.
Okay.
And then after sunset, then they go ahead and eat and feast again. So it's not really a fast like we think of that Jesus went through when he was in the desert. And another thing I think people need to know is during Ramadan, for example, there's hundreds of thousands of sheep that are sent to Saudi Arabia during Ramadan for slaughter from both New Zealand and Australia. And that what they slaughter, they kill, it's not an atonement for their sin. Like we believe as Christians that Jesus died once and for all, and all those Old Testament ideas of slaughtering an animal and putting your hand on their head, it was just an image of what Christ was going to be in the future. So we don't believe as Christians anymore that you have to slaughter any animal, because it just pointed to Jesus Christ as the ultimate sacrifice for our sin. But when they do kill all those animals, they're supposed to give 1/3 they eat, 1/3 they give to friends, and 1/3 they're supposed to donate to the poor. Well, obviously when you slaughter that many animals, hundreds of thousands of them, the meat rots and it really doesn't go to the poor. But during Ramadan also, they're supposed to consider giving money for like a tithe, what a Christian would give, an alm, if you will. And that's 2.5% of their income. However, 7.5% of the 2.5% goes to jihad. And if they are in war, which they would say they are with the infidels at the present time, all of the 2.5% can go to jihad. I think people have to understand that looking into the future, that they're really taking money for jihad. And the other thing I think you have to understand, that the worst times possible for terrorism is going to be the last 10 days of Ramadan, because that's the point where they all sit down and they pray to their God, and they're hoping for an encounter with the same angel that Muhammad had, supposedly. And if they get that encounter, they know they're going to heaven. If they don't get that encounter, then they're not sure they're going to go to heaven, because their way of going to heaven is only two ways. One, they have to earn their way. They must say there's no God but Allah. They have to pray 5 times a day. They have to give alms, like I just said. They have to fast during Ramadan. They have to make a pilgrimage to Mecca. Or they have to do jihad. Now, when they're waiting for this angel to speak to them in that last 10 days and they don't get that answer, that's when they're going to say, well, I guess I'm not going to go to heaven, or I'm not sure. If Allah's not in a good mood, I guess the best thing I can do is do jihad, because then I'm sure I'm going to go to heaven. And I would like to say to the Christians out there, that's probably the best time that Christians need to be on their knees and praying for the Muslims, because they're open to visions and dreams. Unfortunately, they're not going to get the visions and dreams from their God, their anticipated God. We hope that they get a vision or dream from Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. Now, we do have a Skype connection with our third guest who is with us today, Mr. Edip Yuksel. I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly, but you can come on and correct me if I'm wrong. Are you there, Edip?
Yeah, I am there. I'm trying to record it too. I don't know whether the quality of recording would be better than yours.
Okay.
Hi, the gentleman who is talking, I didn't get his name. My name is Edip, E-D-I-P. Last name Yüksel, Y-U-X-Y-U-K-S-E-L. It means author excel, Edip Yuksel.
Okay.
And the gentleman's name?
That would be Dave Ejima.
I wish that you put his name there. Anyway, okay.
We also have another guest on here, Christian Prince.
Okay, Christine, and I didn't get his name again. I don't know how. Can you spell it for me?
Dave, as like the prophet David. Dave.
Dave. Oh, okay. Dave. Okay. Hi, Dave. Let me start with this. Today's Sunnis and Shiites are the #1 enemies of Prophet Muhammad and his message, and also the enemies, of course, of Jesus and Moses. Their message was monotheism. Their message was peace and justice, and also rejecting the traditions, superstitions of their ancestors. Now, as today's Christians has nothing to do with Jesus. Like the Christians who bombed Iraq, killed 1 million people, hundreds of thousands of children and women killed by those, they are not Christians. Or those killed who showered bombs, napalm bombs on Vietnam, they are not Christians. Or Moses has nothing to do with those Jews who went 2 years ago to Gaza and killed 2,000 people, claiming that there were peanut-sized rockets coming, and killed no one except 2 soldiers where they were killing the Palestinians, and 500 children they killed. They have nothing to do with Moses. Or the Christians who burned witches, they have nothing to do with Jesus. Or Christians who burned Tyndale, the first translator of the Bible, they have nothing to do with the same with Jesus.
So, what I'm getting from you is...
Let me finish. Or those who are making billions of dollars from military weapons, production of it, and selling around the world and creating wars in order to sell more. They have nothing to do with... There are tens of millions of people in the United States alone making big money out of these weapons that these terrorists are using. However, when I look at the word terror, what is the terror? Like in just last 20 years or 15 years or last century, Christians killed 666 times more than Muslims killed. Just look at the 2 world wars, Christian wars, just recent wars, Christians.
Let me ask you a question, because you've said a lot of things. Let me ask you a question. Now, you just said that Christians killed more than Muslims over the last 100 years, but at the same time, you said that those people who did those bombings in Iraq and those people who did bombings in Vietnam and different places, they weren't Christians. So I'm confused at that point. Could you clarify? You're saying that Christians have killed more people over the last 100 years, but in the beginning of your monologue, you said that those people were not Christians.
The newborn Christian president of the United States, which supported...
Our president?
The newborn... Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
The newborn Christian president of the United States, Bush, and his Christian supporters who prayed for him, voted for him. He made up lies. He invaded Iraq. He killed 1 million Iraqis, according to Doctors Without Borders. A question for you Christians. Did you condemn them as one of the biggest terror acts in history? Did you condemn? Or did you condemn 2 years ago when 500 children, Palestinian kids, were killed by Nazis? By Nazi sympathizers.
So what I'm getting from you is that you
condemn that. I am asking you the honesty. I'm an honest person. I receive death threats from ISIS because I tell the truth to Muslims. I tell the truth to Christians too. But you don't have the courage, the honesty to criticize your crimes.
Okay, I don't have any crimes. But let me ask you. You said that. So what I'm getting from you, from what you said, is. Obviously, you do not consider ISIS or ISIS supporters or ISIS sympathizers or the people who are claiming to be mujahideen who have done over 12 terrorist acts this past week. You do not. It would be safe to say that you do not consider them to be real Muslims.
Oh, like you are not a Christian either. You are Christian. You are not following Jesus either, because Jesus.
I'm not following Jesus. Are you?
No, you are not.
How do you know I'm not following Jesus?
You are fake like your ancestors were. Because you are following the teaching of Saint Paul, who is a hypocrite.
Well, actually, my ancestors were African and they were enslaved by Muslims.
What did you say?
My ancestors were Africans and they were enslaved by Muslims.
Okay, let me tell you. Here is slavery in the New Testament. In the Old Testament, there are numerous verses.
But did you just hear what I just said? Sir, did you just hear what I said? You said that I wasn't a real Christian, and I'm an African American. My ancestors were brung over here on the transatlantic slave trade. Europeans purchased them from Muslims who established slave auctions in Africa, along the coast of Africa.
Slavery. Those Christians, they have nothing to do with Jesus, who are slave owners.
Okay.
And those Muslims who are slave owners, they have nothing to do with Islam.
Muhammad owned slaves.
Excuse me.
Muhammad owned slaves.
No.
Muhammad did not own slaves.
Absolutely big lie.
Okay.
He freed a slave.
Oh, okay.
He freed a slave.
Okay. How do you know if he? So, where in the Quran does it say that he freed a slave?
Okay. Now, do you want me to talk a little bit about slavery?
Can I?
Now I want you to answer my questions.
Okay, here is the Quran says slavery is the biggest sin, is the unforgivable sin.
Okay.
Because slavery is shirk, polytheism. If someone enslaves another human, becomes his lord.
Okay.
It is in Arabic, it is Rabb.
Lord have mercy.
You know Arabic, who
Can
knows
I?
Arabic here? Abd means the slave.
Okay.
A person cannot be the abd of another other than God. If a person claims someone to be his abd, means his slave, he becomes like Pharaoh. Pharaoh was Pharaoh. He was arrogant. He was the worst people because he enslaved people. He claimed that he is the Lord of other people.
Okay, I get you.
Slavery,
Thank you.
Slavery contradicts the most important principle of the Quran, Islam, which is the peacemaking, which is the system of all messengers, prophets of God.
Thank you very much for that answer. Now, I did ask where you said Muhammad didn't own slaves, and I asked where does it say in the Quran Muhammad didn't own slaves. But Christian Prince, let's get some of our other guests into this conversation.
Finally,
we don't want to just put it on one person. Christian Prince, what do you think of what you just heard?
Finally, you put me on air. I'm muted. I'm trying to share, and this guy is rambling all over. First of all, you are changing the topic, and which is a sign of hypocrisy. Number two, you Muslims, you remember America that attacking Iraq when the Iraqi they came and kissed the shoes of George Bush to go, and you Muslims are the one who paid for the cost of the war, the Gulf War #1 and the Gulf War #2. You Muslims are the one who asked America to involve in Bosnia, and you kiss the shoes of America to protect the Muslims in Bosnia. You Muslims are the one who's asking the America right now to stay in Iraq. After Obama, he asked to withdraw. You Muslims are the one who asking America to stay in Turkey, your country, and you are the one who is giving them a base to stay in your country, and yet you hate America. You Muslims are a bunch of hypocrites, and you have no dignity. Number two, you are a person who says that you Christians, you kill more. According to Christianity, we kill only to defend ourselves. The one who died by the sword, the one who killed by the sword will be killed. You Muslims are the one who attack us. For 600 years we have no crusade whatsoever. The crusade started after you Muslims attacked us, not before. For 600 years we never heard of crusade. Enter you Muslims, and your Turkey, actually the one you are living in, it is an occupation on our land. This is our land, and you speak about killing and attacking and taking the land of others. This is the Constantinia. This is a Christian land. You invaded, you Turkish. Number two, you said Islam is against slavery. In front of everybody is watching us, I challenge you to show me the verse in the Quran that says that slavery is a sin. Just to show everyone that you are making things up. Number three, you said Muhammad, he never owned a slave. I saw your translation of the Quran. Now let me tell you about those who follow Khalifa. They found the hadith exposing Muhammad, so they said to themselves, we are going to reject the hadith because hadith is exposing our prophet, who is nothing but a child molester, who is a criminal, who is a thief, who is a killer, who even spy at his own son's wife when she was almost naked, and he forced his son to divorce her so he can have her. They rejected all the hadith, but now the Quran became a problem still because a lot of stories in the Quran is very offensive. So what they come with is a new solution. Let us change the meaning of the Quran. So this guy, he come with a new interpretation of the Quran and a new translation which fit with whatsoever with nothing. And he just said, we heard him, that the Shia and the Sunni are the enemies of Islam.
He did say that.
Who is left? How many like you in the world who believe in what you believe? 1,500? So according to you right now, all the Muslims are nothing and they are not Muslims. You are the only one Muslim left in this earth. So who care for you? Who count? You count for no one. You don't count for the Muslims. You don't count for anyone. Nobody accept your theories and your lies because simply you cannot support it. And now, let us go for academic talk. You said that the topic today is the month of Ramadan, and until now you said nothing about Ramadan. Now I challenge you, you as a Quranic person only, who don't follow anything except the Quran, to tell me where in the Quran it says you have to fast the month of Ramadan as 30 days from the sunset to the sunrise, and you don't eat, you don't drink, you don't etc. Can you show me? You cannot. So you are talking about fasting, but you do not know where to get fasting from. Can you show me a proof? And I would like the host to give you the mic back. I want to see from the Quran, Mr. Quran only, show me where in the Quran it says to you how to fast, when to fast, and where to fast, which mean the timing, the location, how to do it, how to stop, when to start. Can you show me?
Oh, those
gentlemen,
yes, Mr. Edip, you're back.
You accused me of hypocrisy. Exactly, you did. You made up many lies against Prophet Muhammad, against the Quran. You put them just like bullets, boom, 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 all the lies, all the distortions, and then you end up about fasting. You want me to talk about fasting? No, I will not talk about that. It is not an issue. Don't fast. Not important.
Sure. The title of the show is Ramadan.
No, I am going to expose your hypocrisy and your lies. Here it is. You said in the Quran you don't have a verse, correct, about the slavery, against slavery. Okay, let me give you the first numbers. 379. A prophet cannot make people servant to him. 379. Chapter 3, verse 79. Chapter 4, 3, 25, 92. Chapter 5, verse 89. Chapter 8, verse 67. Chapter 24, verse 32, 33.
Hold on.
Verse
you're spitting out verses, and the audience can't hear what you're saying.
Hold on.
The disbelievers, the ingrates, we do not free slaves.
Can you put me on?
Okay, we got your answer. We didn't understand half of the verses you said, but we did got your answer. So, Christian Prince.
Yes. Listen. This guy, he have no dignity whatsoever. Listen carefully. He quote for us Quran chapter 3, verse number 79. Obviously, he don't speak Arabic. He do not know what Arabic is about. This one, it says, those who say, ما كان لبشر أن يؤتيه الله الكتاب والحكم والنبوة ثم يقول للناس كونوا عبادا لي. There's no for a prophet to say, be my slaves and worship me. This is not about owning slaves. You are a very funny Muslim. Read it carefully. It says, and even in your translation, it says that. You see how hypocrite you are? Don't be a servant slave to me to worship me. Don't be a Muslim
cannot worship Muhammad.
Listen. Ibad, the word ibad in Arabic, it's mean worshiping. It's coming from slaves, yes, but to be my servant worshipper, not to be my slave. And to show you that you are making things up, all the list of the verses you mentioned have nothing to do with what we are talking about. If we go right now to the Quran and we search for وَمَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانَكُمْ. Now I know you will say to us that مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانَكُمْ does not mean own a slave. The Quran says in different verses, if you could not fast, you have to free a slave. So how you can free a slave if you don't own a slave? That would be very funny and very naive of you to say. مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانَكُمْ. Listen, just wait. It says in the Quran, it's forbidden for you to have sexual relationship with married women except those who you own, which means even they are married, you can have sex with them. I heard you speaking last week with Jay Smith. You said those are women, you have a contract with them. What do you mean contract? Are you saying in Islam you can have a contract with married women? Can you have sex with her?
Contract.
Are you saying in Islam you can have a contract with married women, and she is married and you have sex with her based on a contract? That would be the most dummy funny answer ever I heard in my life. The Quran is so clear, all the Muslims can go and read all interpretation around the earth by Muslims, not by Christians. It says it clearly, forbidden for you, the word muhassanat. Obviously you don't speak Arabic. By the way, you claim that you speak Arabic better than Arab. I challenge you to read for me the verse you just quote for me in Arabic, just to show everybody that you do not know Arabic, and yet you claim that you are translating the Quran. How someone cannot read Arabic?
I can teach you Arabic.
He translates the Quran. That is impossible.
Okay, so let's get a reaction, especially we don't want to be all over the place. We want to keep it a little restrained. You cited verse Surah 379. You said that would be a surah. And an ayat that would say that the Quran forbids slavery. But we just heard the response of Christian Prince. What is your reply to that regarding Surah 379? How exactly does that forbid slavery?
Is it my turn?
Yes, I'm speaking
Okay.
to you.
First answer, how he asked question. First of all, he's very abusive. And if he continues these abusive insults, I am going to leave these things.
Well, we don't want you to leave, but you have been kind of abusive also.
Cut me too. I'm not cutting him. Now, two of you are cutting me. That's not the right way. If I invite you, I will treat you equally. I will give you words, and I will not cut you before that person. I will give you equal length. Here is gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
How a person who is fasting can be asked to free a slave. Here it is. The slaves of other people, they were Christians and Jews and pagans. Muslims had had agreements with them, peace agreements. They could not force them to free the slaves, but Muslims were buying slaves and buying their freedom. That's exactly, this is it.
It's unique.
And here it is. Let me answer. I give you in this book, I have all the verse numbers. Here, I know that you will make noise and it will not go anywhere. But I ask the readers, go channel19.org website. Over there, this is a PDF free available. Go check it. I give you all the things. In fact, slavery came from Christianity, from Judaism. Stoning to death, borrowed from you, has nothing to do with Quran, or killing apostate, again for you. I have lists of verses from the Old and New Testament. And it is a shame that you are like Sunnis that you are criticizing. You are no different. When you have power, you will be like them, and you were in the past. The reason you don't do right now, you have a proxy killers for you. Proxy killers are the governments.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. But we do have a caller. We do have a caller who has been sitting on hold for a very long time, and we don't want to make our callers sit on hold. We like having callers. We like having dialogue with the audience. So we have a caller, Edmund, who would like to maybe ask one of you a question. Do we have Edmund on the line? Do we have Edmund on the line? Nope, he's gone. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to you, Edmund. As you can see, we're having a very lively dialogue. But Edip, he says he has all the answers in his book.
Let me answer, please.
Yes, go ahead, Christian Prince.
Listen, I want this guy, he claimed to speak Arabic, to read for us chapter 2, verse 178. To show everybody that you do not know Arabic, you have nothing to do with Arabic, and you can try your best to read it for us. And you will see the answer of all the claims you said. And by the way, you are saying we are the one attacked you. When the host gave you the microphone, you called us killers, you called us thieves, you called us corrupt, you called us criminals, you call us all kinds of names. And when we respond to you, you cry, and you are going to close the door and leave like a child. That is not an act of an adult. Be a man and stay there and answer me. And let Allah be with you. He will help you. In chapter 2, verse 178, it says, all those who you believe. You can read your translation, by the way. Huh? Read your translation. Come with your fabrication.
Let me read the Arabic. Prove you
sure,
that
go ahead. Go ahead.
That you are making up all the time. Even right now in front of me, you made up a lie about me.
Go ahead.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم القصاص في القتلى الحر بالحر والعبد بالعبد والأنثى بالأنثى فمن عفي له من أخيه.
Stop. Listen. What al-abdu bil-abd wal-hurru bil-hurr mean?
The free with the free, the slave with the slave.
Thank you very much.
It's not your slave. Listen carefully.
Okay, guys. One person at a time. We got to have one person at a time. One person at a time.
If a Muslim, he kill a free man, the free man will be killed. In the case of a slave, if a Muslim, he kill a slave, his slave will be killed. This is the madness of this religion. They got the law of Moses wrong. Eye for an eye. It doesn't work this way. So in this case here, it says if a free man kill a free man will be killed. But if a free man kill a slave, his slave will be killed. So how you say to us, Islam is against slavery, and Islam making a rule differentiate between a free and slave even in the case of murder. So if a free man kill a slave, a free man will not be killed for killing a slave. Instead, we will kill his slave, for it is eye for an eye. So you kill my slave, I kill your slave. And this is showing us how clear the lie you came with, saying that in Islam we are against slavery. Now, you know what? Everybody can go and read all translation of this verse by anyone they choose, and they will see how come you Khalifa followers, you come with on your false fiction, and you are the one who said the word there is abd, and you are the one who translates saying slave for slave. Thank you very much. Now listen carefully. Today we are talking the whole point.
Okay.
The whole point. The whole point.
Okay.
The whole point.
Christian Prince, can I just interrupt you one quick second? We have to go to a break for one moment, and we can come back and we can get some answers, and we can ask some more questions to have some more dialogue. And in fact, we can ask Dave, who's been patiently sitting there quietly, his take on what's been going on so far. But we're going to take a break real quick, and we're going to come back. So don't change the channel. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Trinity Channel.
To our viewers all over the world, you can watch us by satellite through the following frequencies. For North America and Canada, please join us on the Galaxy 19 satellite, frequency 11966 horizontal. For Europe and Middle East, join us on the Hotbird satellite, frequency 12111 vertical. For Australia and New Zealand, please join us on the Optus 2 satellite, frequency 12546 vertical. For more information, please call the number on your screen or visit us at trinitychannel.com. You can now watch ABN in the Trinity Channel on your iPhone and iPad. Search for ABN Sat in the App Store. You can watch all the following channels: the Arabic Channel, the English Trinity Channel, the Worship Channel, the Surith Channel, the Kurdish Channel, the Al-Quddus Channel, the Prayer Channel, and a special channel for Europe and the Middle East. For more information, please call the number on your screen or visit us at trinitychannel.com. To all our viewers, you can now watch our shows on the following platforms, such as Android tablets, Android boxes, Android phones, a Chromecast stick, your smart TV, or a Roku stick. For more information, please call the number on your screen or visit us at trinitychannel.com.
ABN viewers, to watch free reruns of our marathon shows, apologetic shows, and English programs, go to www.youtube.com and type Trinity Channel. Here at ABN, we make it easier for viewers like you to watch programs. For more information, call us at 248-416-1300.
And yes, this is C.L. Edwards, and we are back again. You're viewing the Trinity Channel, C.L. Edwards of callingmuslims.org, and we have a very lively conversation going on today. We have several guests with us: Dave Ajima, we have Edip Yuksel, a Muslim of Turkish descent, we have Christian Prince, and the show topic today is Ramadan and human blood sacrifices during Ramadan. Now, before we get back into our conversation, we do have a caller, and we do want to make priority for our callers. So do we have the caller online now? Yes, caller.
Yes, I am on the line.
Yes, caller, you may speak and ask your question or make your statement.
Yeah, this is Edmund.
Yes, Edmund, how are you doing?
Good, good, good. My question to the Muslim follower, is this is Ramadan now, and Muhammad, he killed Asma bin Marwan. She had 3 kids. He killed her in Ramadan. He killed another lady. They call her Urfa. Fi Ramadan. In Ramadan, he killed her. He got Sophia. He killed all his village plus her parents, and he got sex with her same night. He got married from Zainab bin Jahsh. I think his son wife, and I want to know, and he got married from Aisha, is 9 years old. I want to know, he's a prophet or he's a double?
Okay, that's the question.
And in the Quran, they say, أيها النبي حرض المؤمنين على القتال. He understands what that means. في آية تانية بيقول فيها القرآن وأعدوا لهم ما استطعتم من قوة ورباط الخير ترهبون عدو الله وعدوه. ترهبون يعني that mean it's a violence, it's a terrorist.
Okay.
I want to know he's a prophet or he's a devil. And thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. Now, I think I know what Edip's answer is going to be since he rejects the Sunnah and the Sunni position, but let's hear it directly from him. Edip, did you get to hear the caller's statement in question?
Yeah. First of all, the verse about, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
The verse about fasting, again, that distorted. It was a multicultural, multinational, democratically elected leader. Muhammad was in Medina, and Jews and Christians and pagans, like believers, they were free in their affairs. They were following their own system. Therefore, they had slaves, and therefore Muslims were supposed to go free the slaves. That is, and interestingly, you have verses over verses about promoting slavery in the Bible. And here
but the question wasn't about the Bible. The question wasn't about the Bible. Thank you for your answer, though.
And fear of God, submit yourself to your masters, not only to those who are good and considerate, but also who are harsh.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. But let's hear from Dave Ejima. He's been quiet for a long time. You've gotten to hear the dialogue. You've gotten to hear our Muslim guest who has been here. What say you to all of this that's been going on?
Well, the Bible says where there are many words, there is sin. And I heard a lot of that coming from the Muslim here from Turkey. But let's get to the heart of the matter. We're talking about Ramadan. So what is this time? This was the time Muhammad went from Mecca to Medina. It was the time Muhammad had his enlightenment in the cave. It was the time, the actual time that Muhammad thought about killing himself 3 times, but his wife said, don't do that because you're really hearing from God. And in the olden days, they were supposed to stop war between each other during Ramadan, but that didn't work very well because they kept fighting. So basically, that is a little bit of historical background.
Yes.
And what is going on now? June 14, 2016, in France, a 32-year-old Muslim stabs a girl because during Ramadan as basically a sacrifice, something he thinks he should do. Jihadists have left Syria for Europe to shed blood. A Somalian immigrant shot by a SWAT team in Texas at a Walmart. So far, 532 people killed during Ramadan. Turkish airport has just been bombed, and the Turks are buying oil from ISIS, which is funding the very thing that's bombing them. So the link between Ramadan and extreme violence in Islam has occurred in antiquity. And it just, when Muslims complain about violence, for example, to Muhammad, about fighting during Ramadan, Muhammad had a new revelation in 2:17, which states, it was those committing the attacks that were the true victims, because non-Muslims, by their sheer presence, were denying Muslims the ability to follow their religion. Now, how ridiculous is that? Others, for example, killing homosexuals was not a great sin because such temptation was a far greater sin. The Quran 3:110, Muslims must do right and forbid evil, and since we're not Muslims, we're evil, I guess it's okay to kill us. And what did the U.S. government just do? It warned citizens of increased attacks during Ramadan. Abu Muhammad al-Adani said, jihadists, get prepared. Be ready to make it a month of calamity everywhere for non-Muslims. So we're an equivalent of a blood sacrifice during Ramadan for these radicals. And I'd like to say one more thing.
Yes.
That he's exactly wrong. Islam has been the biggest killing machine in the history of the world. They don't even have accurate numbers, total accurate numbers, but somewhere between 270 million and 560 million people have been killed by Islam. And what was their sin? Right. They weren't believers in Islam, therefore they died. And as far as slave, that's a whole different issue. Then I'd have to ask them, what are the Hemis? What's the Jiza? You can go into this. This man's way off base.
Yes, truly tragic. But we do have a caller, and like I said, we do want to give priority to callers. Now, do we have our second caller of the night up online?
4 people.
Do we have another caller?
4 against 1.
I guess we don't have our caller up yet.
Hello.
We do have our caller. Are you there?
1, 2.
Yes, I'm here.
4.
What is your name?
My name is Kishore.
Sure. What is your question or comment tonight?
My comment is the other person is still talking. I don't know.
No, you're free to talk. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Christian Prince, you're rock. The way you are researching the things, and it is really great. You are analyzing the things and all. The person, the Muslim person who is doing this, he's not able to pull a single word from the Quran regarding the Ramadan. Could you explain where is the Ramadan thing, what Christian Prince asked?
Okay. So you're asking what Christian Prince asked maybe 10 or 15 minutes ago about where in the Quran can we find the fiqh, so to speak, for Ramadan? How do we know when to fast, how long to fast, what fasting involves, when, and all the questions regarding fasting. Edip, do you want to answer that question about where do we find the methodology of fasting in the Quran?
Boy, you are good in playing your game. You are
No
four
games,
people.
no games.
Listen,
No
four
games.
people,
Hands
four
up, no
people,
games.
1, 2, 3, and the other 4 people, and then you threw all the lies and insults and using all Sunni fabrications freely, and then you want me to talk about Ramadan. No, you insulted Prophet Muhammad. You said he killed Bani Qurayza people. It is the biggest lie. It is, look at this, here it is. It is in how many 100 years later, 145 leaders in Ibn Ishaq. He died 151 years after Prophet Muhammad. He came up with the story of Bani Qurayza massacre, which is supposedly hundreds of Jewish people were massacred. This doesn't exist in the Quran. If there was an event like this, Quran refers to many events. But the studies shows, I have a journal article on 19.org, just research the homepage, the first page, Qurayza, Q, and then you will find out this is an old mythology story, Jewish story, to the numbers and details, and they are exactly using the same old story, the pre-Islamic story, not pre-Islamic, pre-Muhammad story, and then accusing Muhammad of doing this. And then this gentleman, you say, killed his wives and sons. These are big lies, but what you do, you pick and choose among those books. According to those books, Muhammad split the money into half of it fell to Ali's backyard. These kind of silly, stupid books, but it is in your interest in order to project your own crimes.
I hear you.
Project
but
your
we
own
didn't.
crimes.
But Christians didn't invent those stories. Those stories are in Islamic history
It's not
books.
Islamic.
They're in
These are
Islamic
enemies of
hadith
Muhammad. As you are the enemy of Jesus because you fabricate many lies against Jesus. Jesus never claimed to be Lord God. Jesus never promoted slavery. But St. Paul promoted slavery. Jesus never asked for money for teaching, preaching. But you do. You make religion as your business. Jesus never supported warmongers, but you support warmongers.
Okay. Okay. We will let Christian Prince. I'll let you answer that.
Yeah,
in just
we
one
have.
second.
You
Just
know,
one second.
obviously.
1 second, Christian Prince. Just 1 second. We're coming to the end of our time with Dave and Edip. Unfortunately, they're going to have to go. But Christian Prince is going to remain, and we're going to ask. We're going to let Christian Prince reply to some of the last things that Edip just said. That the things that are in the hadith are fabrications, that we shouldn't be bringing them up. Another curious thing he said, I don't know if you heard Christian Prince, he said that Muhammad was a democratically elected leader of Medina. That was very interesting. I never heard that before. So let's say goodbye to our guests. We're glad you guys were on here. God bless you.